Welcome, Tag Radio followers. It's your boy Rome coming to you live, pregame at the Poolside. I'm here with T and G for the pregame show before Game 5 of the NBA Finals. We're going to do something a little different today. Fact or fiction segment, guys. I'm going to say 5 statements. I want you guys to both give me whether that's going to be fact or fiction in tonight's Game 5, all right? Let's jump right into it and start with you, G, all right? Okay, fact or fiction. This is the biggest game of LeBron James' career.
Absolutely, fact. I mean, for one, this is the furthest he's ever made it into the finals. He got swept back in the Spurs series. It's happening right now, so everyone is magnifying it right now. And then what he did last game, I mean, that only puts more pressure on him right now. Everyone's watching him. Absolutely, fact.
I'm going to go fact as well here. Like G said, all the pressure's on him right now. All the eyes are on him. He has to perform at his highest stage like everyone knows he can if the Heat are going to win. They've also proved that he doesn't have to play that well and they can win. But with these close games and going back and forth sometimes, if the Heat want to win a championship, they need to win tonight and they need LeBron to show up. In fact, LeBron, this is his biggest game.
I mean, would you guys agree that he's the biggest of the big three? I mean, they need him
at least, yeah.
They need him to go hard every game.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the next one. T, what do you think? Fact or fiction? This is a must-win game for the Mavericks tonight if they want to complete their journey to being NBA champions.
Fiction. I do not believe that. I think the way the Mavs have played this season, especially in the postseason, when the chips are stacked against them, they find a way to get it done. It's not an elimination game, so you cannot say it's a must-win. They still, they go 3-2, they've been down before, just like they've shown, they fought back in the series. I think if they lose this game, although we're not going to predict them to lose this game, if something like that would happen, they bring Game 6, I think they can split that and we're going to go to 7. I don't think it's going to be a must-win game.
I can see that. Best road team in the West this year. It's definitely possible. Grant, what do you think?
I mean, I agree with what Taylor just said. It's fiction. I mean, beyond the fact that it's not a true must-win, just the sense that, like he said, why would we doubt the Mavericks? They've always bucked all these trends, all the stats, all the numbers. Like we said in the blogs, have always been against them, and somehow they've always found a way to win. So that's a fiction. I mean, it's more important to the Mavericks to win this game tonight than the Heat. Absolutely, but a must-win? No, not at all.
Very well put, Grant. I would agree with that. All right, T. Fact or fiction? Eric Spoelstra's lineup adjustments during the game are critical to a Heat victory.
I'm going to go fiction again here. The Heat have shown that the lineup they have, the 7-8 guys they played, nobody else, is enough to beat the Mavericks. Now, have the Mavericks beat themselves in a couple of games? Yes. But have the Heat also beaten themselves in 2 of the victories? I think so as well. But that main core of players that you know is going to show up, LeBron, Wade, Bosh, the rest of those guys, they don't need to make that many adjustments. They can win with that lineup. Although I do think maybe he needs to make some adjustments, but if he doesn't, they can still win the game. So I'm going to go fiction.
G, what do you think? And if you think it's fiction as well, or you think he needs to make some adjustments, what kind of adjustments do you think would help the Heat?
Yeah, well, I think it's fiction as well because, I mean, the adjustments he wouldn't make, like we talked about, maybe playing Mario Chalmers more, or go small like he did back in the Bulls series and the Celtics series. But at the end of the day, it's the Miami Big Three. It's not the Miami bench that's winning them the game. So
Absolutely.
The adjustments Eric Spoelstra makes aren't going to win in the game. It's the Big Three that's going to win or lose Miami Heat the game.
It's not like the Mavs and not like Carlisle where he has to make an adjustment.
So you would say in-game adjustments are more critical to the Mavs' success as it has been all season with our deep lineup. Okay. All right. G, what do you think? Fact or fiction? LeBron James has 30 or more points tonight, or he has 18 or more shot attempts.
Look, we talked earlier about how this is LeBron James' biggest game of his career, right? And, you know, you look back, the last time he had such a poor game was the Game 5 in the Celtics series last year, and he came back with a triple-double the next game in Game 6. However, LeBron's average for the 6 games this season against the Mavericks are 18.5 points and 39% field goal shooting. So I think everyone looks at LeBron James as what's wrong with him. No one considers that it could be the Mavs defense that's causing him problems. So while I think he'll be more aggressive, he'll be better, I don't think he'll get either 30 points or 18 field goals.
Okay.
I'm going to agree with Grant on he will not score 30 points. I do not believe he's going to score 30 points.
Fiction on that.
Fiction
all right.
on that, merely because if you look at the trends in each series the Mavs have played this postseason, Kobe Bryant has scored less and less points each game of the postseason. Kevin Durant, the same exact trend. LeBron James, whereas Wade may be doing his thing, I think the trend follows. But also, like I said earlier on the vlogs today in one of my comments, LeBron has never been questioned. He's never been challenged. Everyone's always praised LeBron, and if he ever did fail, it was some other reason. He didn't have any help. He couldn't do this. He never could do that. The eye was never on. The blame was never on him. Now it is. Now everyone's looking at LeBron saying, "You got to do better. You got to do this." It's never been like that. So I think he's going to come out aggressive, and he's going to be forcing shots. He's going to be driving the lane. He's going to be trying to do the things that everyone's telling him to do. And I think it's going to bite him in the butt. In the Heat as well, because he doesn't need to do those things to the Heat to win, and I think he's going to try to reverse everyone's feeling out on him, and he's going to jack up some shots he doesn't need to take. He's going to try to be the LeBron in Cleveland, where he's the MVP, he's the man, and they don't need to do that. So I think he might shoot over 18 field goals. I think that might be a fact, but I do not think he's going to score 30 plus points.
And I want to touch on your point real quick about the blame never being on him. This is the man who's had an ESPN writer dedicated to him since high school. Brian Windhorst has single-handedly followed him, high school to Cleveland, and now he's in Miami. And like you said, everyone's always loved him. Now all of a sudden, he's getting all this blame and stuff. Last night, LeBron James at 2 a.m. tweeted, "It's now or never," because he's been looking at everyone's blogs and everyone's columns against him, and he doesn't know what to do. So it's going to be really interesting to see how LeBron James reacts in this situation.
He's a man who reads his own press clippings, definitely always has, and now they're finally, people might think negatively on LeBron James, but it was never about his basketball skills. Those never came into question, and now that they are, I think he struggles.
I would agree with that, guys. You guys both made some really good points there. I'd have to say there's such high expectations for LeBron on the court at all times, every game. He's supposed to be the man. Even now with the big three, he's still almost bigger than D-Wade and Bosh and that entire team. He's just such an icon. The expectations are always so high. So people want to keep reaching for all these reasons that he had a bad game. They want to reach for reasons. There's all kind of rumors stirring around. He doesn't want to take the pressure. He's deferring to D-Wade. The people want to reach for all these reasons, but isn't it possible that maybe the Mavs just are putting the pressure on him? And we have the arsenal of defenders, because it does take an arsenal to stop LeBron James or D-Wade, not just one player. And the arsenal of the Mavs defense could it be possible that might be the reason, and he just had a bad game for once? I mean, there might not even be a reason. People want to reach for that.
Absolutely.
But you guys made some good points. All right, final fact or fiction. There will be a comeback victory for whichever team wins tonight in the fourth quarter. It'll be a comeback. They'll be down 5 to 10, 5 or more points going into the fourth and have to make a run at the end, like most of these games have been.
This is a trick question. Basically, it's a tough one. Because of how the series has gone, the Mavs coming back multiple times to prove, overcome that trend in the end, with Miami being the best closing team. But I don't think so. That's fiction. Not this game. The last home game of the season for the Mavs. The fans are going to be loud. They're going to come out with that energy. They know it's a must-win for them in their eyes, even though we don't think so. I think they're going to go out there and they're going to finally put that complete game together we've talked about this entire time. Shoot the ball well, like they've always talked about. Dirk's healthy. I think they're going to come out and they're going to stun them in the beginning, and they're going to ride that the complete rest of the way. I think that we win, and we keep the lead in fourth, and we sustain it, and we pull out the victory.
Bold prediction. What do you think, G?
Yeah, you often hear the national media compare Tag Radio to an old married couple because they agree way too much, and I'm with Taylor on this one too, because look, like he said, I think the Mavs are going to win, and I don't think the Heat are going to come back and win. However, if the Mavericks are losing, then yeah, I think they're going to come back. But so it's kind of a catch-22. I think the Mavs are going to win. So if it means they have to come back, then yes, it's going to be a comeback. If the Mavs are ahead, which I think they will be, I don't think the Heat are going to come back.
Okay. I see you guys. You guys are definitely on the same page with this one. But Grant, I want to get a definitive answer from you. Do you think it's a fact that? I want you to kind of step out on a limb. Do you think that the Mavericks will have to come back again? Like that's the story of their season almost, the story of these playoffs, the story of this series, especially for the Mavericks? Do you think it'll be a comeback victory for them, or do you think we'll be hitting on the Mavs will be hitting on all cylinders